Totally Inspired community? Welcome to another episode of Totally Inspired with me, your girl, Dube. As you can see from today's title, we are going to be looking at the impact of stress on the health of women. But before we go ahead, please make sure that you hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and make sure you give me a huge thumbs up if you've enjoyed my content today and all the other videos that I've shared previously. Now let's get right ahead. This is the beginning of the year, and I know a lot of you have made a lot of resolutions in your career, in your personal life, for your finances. But most importantly, you should be making resolutions around your health. They say that your health is your wealth. And this is a good time to actually visit your doctor and do your annual checkup right at the beginning of the year. I have a friend of mine who once mentioned to me that she does her health checkups during her birthday. That's her present that she gives to herself. As long as you make sure that once a year you have a look at your health in totality and make sure that everything is okay. Sometimes we look healthy and feel healthy from the outside, and yet there could be things that are brewing underneath the surface that cannot be that obvious to the naked eye. Anyway, going back to today's topic, what is the impact of stress on the health of women? Well, you might be interested to find out, why am I separating men and women? As women, we have a certain way that we respond to stress. We don't respond to stress the way that men do. Because we wear so many hats as women, we are more prone to stress. It could be related to social pressures, it could be related to family pressures or career pressures. We are more prone to stress as women because of the different hats that we wear. In women, stress presents itself in different ways. It can range from an irregular menstrual cycle, hormonal changes, as well as you losing your hair, headaches, and backaches. There are so many different ways in which one can start to experience certain side effects that come with stress. In this video, we're just going to unpack some of the things that you can experience if you're stressing, and these impact on your emotional and physical well-being and health. So come along with me and talk about it. So the first point that I would like to share with you is the way that you can actually suffer from stomach ailments as a result of stress. How many of you actually reach out for comfort food when you're stressing? People that tend to lean more towards eating more than they normally do when they're stressed. Well, a lot of women do that. They start eating more, and guess what that does to your health? You start experiencing bloating, your stomach gets upset, and suddenly you are not in a good place. And you cannot even pinpoint that to the fact that the underlying factor is that you are simply stressed. This kind of response to stress obviously leads to weight gain, and you experience things like heartburn as well. And obviously, with those kind of abdominal discomforts, you are bound not to be in a good space. You're not going to be the best company. So the number one point that I would like to share with you that comes to affect you, that affects your health as a result of stress, is stomach ailments. So look out for those. Sometimes you might just think, oh, I'm bloated, my stomach is cramping, or I've got heartburn, and you can't relate it back to the fact that you have been stressing, you're under pressure. It could be issues of, kids, parenting, could be issues of your marriage, and then suddenly you find that you're suffering from stomach ailments. Secondly, some people react to stress, health-wise that is, through skin reactions. Your skin is another telltale for stress. You can experience breakouts, you can experience itchiness, and you might just think, oh, I'm just having a bad break on my skin, whereas it is very much related to stress levels. So also look out for that. That could be a reason why your skin is looking the way it's looking, simply because you are stressed. Number 3, finding it difficult to sleep. When you are stressed, it's obviously difficult for you to find sleep. And if you're not sleeping, you'll be fatigued. When you wake up in the morning, when you're supposed to go and show up at work or whatever keeps you occupied during the day, you're not your best self. And you are not the best mom, you're not the best company, you're not the best employee. So watch out for your sleeping patterns. Some people get so stressed that they only start sleeping or start falling asleep at about 3 or 4 in the morning, and in a few hours time they have to wake up and go to work. And then that spirals to poor performance at work. You are not present in your family, you are not the best mom, you are grumpy, and you're not great company. So that failure to sleep because you are thinking a lot about whatever is stressing you out makes you not have enough sleep. Hence, some people end up depending on sleeping tablets. However, before you can even use those, try and address the underlying factors and see if you are able to look at what's stressing you and not necessarily be dependent on sleeping medication. Sometimes we need to look at the cause of what could be making us fatigued and not be able to sleep. Another problem that stress brings is difficulty to concentrate. Now, very much related to the sleeping patterns. Obviously, when you're fatigued, you end up not sleeping well. And when you have to concentrate during the day, you're not going to do well. And that's going to impact your performance at work. It's going to impact even the way you interact with other human beings. This is why when you're stressing, try and avoid operating machines or even driving on the road, because your mind is far away. And a lot of people tend to have accidents during the times that they're most stressed. And accidents will not always be minor accidents. You can actually have a fatal accident as a result of your stress. You're not concentrating on the road, and you never know, that could be that accident that could actually end the life of someone else. So when you feel stressed, avoid driving your car or being on the road, because your concentration will be impacted. Another thing that we really need to be aware of is the fact that stress has a huge impact on our cardiovascular health. Whilst stress may not necessarily be the only cause for things like heart attack, things like hypertension, stroke, it certainly has a very huge contributing factor. You might ignore it now, but as things continually pile up, you are somewhat contributing to an outcome wherein you find yourself ending up suffering from these kind of conditions that I've mentioned, stroke, heart attack, heart failure. There is some interrelatedness there. That is why it is important that you always keep yourself healthy, always manage your stress levels so that you don't have prolonged times when you are stressed. So stress actually lowers your immune system, meaning you become more susceptible to any type of opportunistic disease that can catch you unawares. So when you are stressed, just be aware that your immune system is way lower than it normally is. So your ability to fight off diseases is actually lowered and is compromised when you're stressed. Whatever disease comes your way during that time, it can actually manifest itself in your body, and you might not be able to reverse it as easily as if your system was, the immune system was at its best. That means if you've got a chronic condition, it could just, flare up, or if you've got a flu, it could just be more aggressive than it would have been if your immune system was in a good place. The other effect that stress has on our health is emotional and mental disorders. When you are stressed, your mental health is highly, highly impacted. You could suffer from mood swings, whereby one day you are this person, the next day you are someone else. Your mood is all over the place, and as I said, you might not just be the best person to be around when you are stressed. So watch very carefully how your emotions are during your time of stress. It could actually get to unhealthy levels that require medical attention. We'll leave it here for today. In our next episode, I will then talk to you about ways in which you can lower your stress levels in order for you to be on top of your game when it comes to your health. Thank you so much for tuning in, and hope you will join me again in the next episode where we talk about how to lower your stress levels. Remember to subscribe, share, comment, and like. Until next time, keep inspiring.